I could not be the only one. You've got my case of nostalgia at the end of this episode of Dragon Ball Super. Now, it's been a while since I sat down and reviewed an episode of Dragon Ball Super, and obviously because of these fillerish-like episodes, even though I was going to reserve myself until the Universal Survival arc, which, let's be honest, that's what everybody's waiting for. It's what I'm waiting for as well, but I'm not going to spoil myself with trailers, and I'm not going to spoil myself with articles. I'm just going to wait until the arc drops, and I'm going to review it and have fun with it. But episodes like this, I can appreciate it for two reasons. One, obviously development, and two, the nostalgia factor. And if you want to add a third, I guess it would be a case of like a setup and world building. I'll give you a perfect example. You have like Whis being asked to train with Goku, and Whis says he can't train with Goku because him and Beerus have to attend I guess the Supreme Kai and the Gods of Destruction Summit. Now that to me is like hype building for sure. This world building like that, I'm like, okay, I'm more invested into that than I am. But no, I appreciate the end of this episode because that was Dragon Ball Z 101. You had each of the antagonists of Dragon Ball Z surround Goku and Krillin, and this was a Krillin-based episode, for better or worse. Whether or not you like the Krillin or not, now I'm just going to be straight up blunt. Certain things in this episode kind of pissed me off when it comes to Krillin's character, because if he steps it up, he can be a badass, yeah, and he has stepped it up. That's the most annoying thing about it. It's like Gohan. He can step it up when he wants to, but he's got to be provoked into doing it, and it's like, you should not be provoked to fight for the people you care about. That's the reason why I became a police officer, but that's just not going to get you the groceries. And what I mean by that is, yeah, he's a policeman to protect the people he cares about, yeah, but it's like, that didn't protect you because you got shot. It's like, because you pretty much, you let go of your training, you've refused to become a martial artist again, and that's what happens. And the same thing for Gohan. It's like, Gohan got tossed around like a ragdoll first by a casual nobody who just got possessed. It's stuff like this that kind of, it mind boggles you a little bit, because it's like, why are these people in this, why are these people going to be part of the Universe 7 team in the upcoming tournament? And I guess it's episodes like this that produce the spotlight, but it's like, they're not being shined in the right way. I mean, Gohan in the previous episode, that stood out because obviously he finally steps up to protect the people he cares about, which is probably what's going to lead him to like join Team Universe 7. The same for Krillin, even though, let's be honest, him and Tien don't stand a chance. Let's look at it. Let's look at the facts, okay? Imagine hit, multiply that by 10 when it comes to power scaling, and in 12 universes, that's what you're going to get. It's like, these are going to be like top tier. That's probably what's the most upsetting. Like, Gohan can hold his own if he applies himself, and that's what a lot of people have said, and that's what a lot of people are making rants and passionate videos about. We know what Gohan can do if he applies himself and gets serious. And now with Krillin, it's an unpredictability, because his biggest problem is more or less his self-esteem. Like, he has no self-confidence. He gets, I mean, it happens every arc, but he gets taken down. In the Resurrection of Frieza arc, this is what pissed me off the most when it comes to like the Krillin characterization. And this is another example, okay? Because Krillin has stepped up, and because he's launched an attack against Cell. He's launched an attack against not only Super Boo, but Kid Boo as well. Remember that? Motivated just to get up against a couple of underlings of Frieza. And not only that, it's like when they stepped into the spooky forest, this is problems like this that I have. Roshi's supposed to be part of this tournament as well. I don't know, but it's like how are they going to put up a fight against if the likes, let's say for instance, and I've said this before, but let's say a fighter, because we've seen some Zamasu appear. We know how that turned out. It's like, what's going to happen if somebody like that has equal? I'm not saying it's going to definitely happen, but well, sooner or later it has to happen. But what if somebody has equal power to a god of destruction, and Team Universe 7 has to fight him? What's going to happen? And spooked out in the woods is going to be enough to get him ready for the tournament. Not a chance. But I still appreciate this episode 4. because that, let's be honest, when you see Cell, you have to see Frieza in a fight for the lives, especially Krillin. But it's like he has to be motivated by 18 and Marin. 18 kind of called, even though she was like trying to motivate Krillin, she wasn't one when she said, "Oh, you're nothing more than a weakling now. What happens to the person I love?" You just soften up, and it's like it's the same thing for Gohan. And it's like they're gonna. The most frustrating thing is they're gonna get back into the ball game. So why? But it's like oh man, the characterization for both of them. It's like yeah, they can be total badasses, but the characterization is not there. At least not yet. It's not. And I hate to keep harping on the same thing, but and I will say this: the setup for the I'll be honest, it looks like it's going to be constant setup for the upcoming survival arc, and that's what I'm more invested in more than anything else. I'm more invested into that part than I am with anything else. But I still appreciate this episode. What this episode is for. Again, it is frustrating because I'm not the big Krillin fan, but exactly. But I dug his character in Dragon Ball Z, but it's like it's in Dragon Ball Super, it's pretty much horrible at this point. But hopefully that's going to change with episodes like this. It looks like Krillin's going to overcome his fear at Sura. But the problem is, obviously, Tambourine was the last villain we saw, and that's pretty much the person that killed, or the first person that killed Krillin. So that brings up a lot of bad memories, obviously. But it's like Krillin, you're a lot stronger than freaking a lot of people. You're the strongest human alive, and you're intimidated by an underling who Goku beat the shit out of back in the King Piccolo arc, all the way back in the day. So it's like you should be more than enough to handle this. But I get it's a constant mind game, and it's something that Krillin has to overcome. The same thing with Gohan. Even though I don't like the way his character's been handled, especially when he has to make some sort of bullshit just to spar with Goku, like, oh, I'm the great Saiyaman, so all things are good now. No, you are not fooling anybody with that bullshit. So it's like, with that being said, I still enjoyed this episode. I didn't think I was going to make a review, but I have to say, in between the certain Easter eggs we got when it comes to the future aspect of Dragon Ball Super, and obviously the nostalgia factor of Dragon Ball mixed in with Dragon Ball Super, I appreciate this episode a lot more. But that's it from me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like this review if you did. Appreciate that. I appreciate all that you do on this channel. So comment, rate, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.